To ensure that we can add products to the cart, we need to work on the post cart method here. The post cart method is responsible for adding new products to the cart. For this, let's get rid of the existing code there because we'll rewrite it from scratch. Well, almost. I'll keep the code where we get the product ID because I still need to do that. Next, I'll first of all get access to the cart in exactly the same way I did it up there in get cart with request user get cart and then my then block. So I'll repeat that and then have then and thereafter also catch here. In catch, as always, I'll just log any potential error I get, and then here I simply have access to the cart. So now we have the cart available. Now, the first step is that I want to find out if the product I'm trying to add is already part of the cart. Because if it is, then I just need to increase the quantity. If it's not, I need to add it with a quantity of 1. So I will return cart get products here with a where condition where I restrict the retrieved products to the product with my prod ID, like that. So now I only retrieved that single product. And in the next then block, I will get an array of products as you learned, but we know that this will only hold 1 product. At most, it might even hold no product if a product with this ID is not part of this cart yet. So here, I'll retrieve my single product as the first element of this array. But first of all, I need to check if product's length is greater than 0. So I'll write this a bit differently, create a product variable here, and assign a value to that variable if we do have products. Otherwise, it will stay undefined. So now we do have this check in place. Then I'll create a new variable, new quantity, and this will be 1 by default. And then I'll check if product is anything but undefined. So if we actually do have a valid product. If that is the case, I need to increase the quantity. So if we do have a product here, I now need to basically get my old quantity for this product and then change it. We'll do this later, because right now we don't have any products in there. So let's now only work on the new product case. So if we got no product here, we know this product is not part of the cart yet. So what I'll do at this point here is I will return a call to product find by ID, because I need to find the general product data for this product now, for my prod ID. It's not part of the cart, but it's of course still in the database in the products table. And here, I will have a nested then call because it makes things a bit easier here. Because I will execute 2 very different kinds of code for the case that we have an existing product in the cart or that we have to add a new one and therefore find it first of all. So here I know this is my product as it's stored in the products table. And this is the product I want to add to my cart. And this can now be done by returning. And now I need to access my cart again. Now my cart is available here in this anonymous function, but not in this one. To make it available down there too, I'll create a new cart variable, or fetched cart maybe, to not always use the same name. And then here I'll store the cart in fetched cart. So now it's not only available here, but in this overall function here. And therefore down there, I now have access to my fetched cart, and on that fetched cart, I can call add product. It's another magic method added by Sequelize for many-to-many relationships. I can add a single product here, and it will add it to this in-between table with its ID. So here I add the product I retrieved. I just need to also make sure that I set this extra field I added to my cart item. This is the in-between table, but for every entry I also want to have the quantity. And if I have more than just the 2 matching IDs, I need to tell Sequelize that there is an extra field that needs to be set. And I do this by passing an object to add product as the second argument. And there I'll add through. You might remember through from app.js. There we used it to tell Sequelize which model to use as the in-between model and therefore as the in-between table. Now I'm telling Sequelize, well, for that in-between table, here's some additional information you need to set the values in there. So that's another object. And there I'm basically setting the keys or the fields that should be set in the in-between table. In this case, it's the quantity field, which should be set to new quantity. So this is the case that I add a new product for the first time. New quantity will be 1 here, and I'm storing the product with that quantity. Let's see if that works. If I save this and I go to products, got no product, so let's quickly add one, just with some dummy data to speed this up. If I go to products and I click add to cart, we're not redirecting, which is why we're stuck on this page, but we got no error here by the looks of it. And if we refresh or load cart items, we see a new product was added, or a new element was added to the cart with quantity 1 pointing at that cart with ID 1 and the product with ID 1. So this seems to work. Now let's just make sure we also, do see our carts page. So here, I'll add a then block where I simply call res redirect / cart. So let's try this again now. And now I get an error on that cart page. And that is what I mentioned before. This will now break. So before we handle the case that we add a product to the cart which is already in the cart and therefore increase its quantity, let's make sure we can see the cart items on this page again.